Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting episode of The Good
Game,
Guys,
with your host, Dr.Captain.
who obviously messed up because he forgot to /unhost.
Thought we were just going to find out what happens for science.
Right, for science.
Well, for science, unhost has happened.
it's like, well, at least everyone knows that you're the host.
There you go.
Right, fair enough.
Oh, man. So with that little blunder out of the way, hi, I'm Dr. Captain.
I'm dead.
And I'm the NPC.
And we're not joined by the loud kid again, but it's his birthday, so what the fuck, you know?
Right. Happy birthday, loud kid.
Yep, he gets dinner for his birthday.
Aw.
Yeah, man, I'm starting to think like the NPC is a little more reliable here. He showed up for his birthday.
That's because he didn't have anything better to do.
Yeah, everyone I know is going to be here.
Well, that's the same thing for River, with the exception of his mom.
Yeah, but we're not going to feed him.
Maybe we could feed him like something.
Are we going to?
No, we're not.
Exactly.
Damn it. Oh man. Alrighty then. So, with that little bit out of the way, why don't we go ahead and start getting into how our week has been? So, Dan, what's up?
Aside from the biggest part of my week being starting a state university, that's eaten up a lot of my time this week because I've gone on campus 3 out of 5 days of the week.
What school are you going to?
Fullerton, Cal State Fullerton.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep, going all the way out there. Luckily, I only have class 2 days a week right now, so it's not going to be too killer.
Great way to spend your tuition.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still getting my classes, so at least I can be happy that those thousands of dollars in debt went to something important. But yeah, I've just been playing bits stuff here and there. I got a game or two in Dark Nexus Arena recently. Been playing Disgaea a lot because it's easy to play while on campus. As online games are shit on their Wi-Fi. And I did a bit of Splatoon and some TF2, but not much. I've been focusing on other things. Definitely want to play some stuff this weekend. I'm going to be all over that.
Zach, I think you were talking about you kind of wanted to return to some Dark Nexus.
Yeah, that or love to stream something, but it's all a matter of time and commitment. In Dark Nexus, I'll go in alone, but I'm not going to be saying much, so...
Do you just need a Shia LaBeouf motivator?
Well, that's sort of the hard part with streaming. Like, I've been streaming kind of recently, and it's definitely hard to come up with something to talk about when you're not talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have a big problem monologuing for extended durations of time. And I don't want to end up being one of those weird guys that goes into hobo mode, like standing at the grocery store deciding which type of spaghetti sauce I want out loud. It's like, I mean, I know a couple of people that have done that, and I don't want to. I don't want it.
I've come close to that point, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
either way, things I'd like to put on stream would just be more fun in a group.
Fair.
Mostly because it's multiplayer stuff. I mean, you did give me one idea, but one, that would have to be on Hitbox, and two, I'd have to find some kind of magic hour to do that in which it wouldn't be weird to commentate on. We'll get to that at the end of the show.
Sure.
We'll talk more about that idea as we're about to run away.
Oh, man.
Is that all you've been up to, buddy?
Yeah, pretty much.
Fair enough. You mind if I go?
Please go.
So, like I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, I started streaming. Like, I got Shadowrun Hong Kong, which is the first game that I pre-ordered in the past, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. And I must say, though the game is fun as fuck, it's so boring to watch when the stream host is not reading or doing voices or whatever for the parts that have no dialogue recordings. So it was basically a lot of people just sitting around wasting time, effectively, is what it felt like. But I ended up beating that, and I moved on to Fallout, and that brought a few more viewers, and Fallout 2 so far has brought the most, and I'm just kind of hoping that the channel keeps growing.
Yeah, let's hope things get better when you get to Fallout 3, and then I guess New Vegas if you're gonna go that far with it.
I am. Well, at least that's the challenge.
Do you think you're actually allowed to start playing Galaxy News Radio on the stream?
I wouldn't see why not, but I don't generally anyway. Like, I tend to leave the radios off.
I mean, I've always been a weirdo. Like, well, probably not a weirdo. I'm probably with the rest of the crowd. Galaxy News Radio is what you listen to when you go shooting super mutants.
Fair enough. Hi, Shao.
Maybe Radio New Vegas.
But yeah, I'm currently at the point in Fallout 2 where I'm just about to beat it, so I think I'm going to get back to streaming that after the show. Just because, like, I've already got game withdrawal. I mean, I had to go all the way back to Vault City to handle some side questy stuff. Because I want to gain a few more levels and make sure that my hand-to-hand damage is increased. But, you know, I'll certainly talk way more about that on the stream. I'm not going to monopolize the podcast for that.
Sure.
But that's pretty much what all I've been up to. I just, you know, I'm beginning streaming, and I'm doing the Fallout challenge that I talked about on the show a couple of months ago.
I got a thought for you when you get to New Vegas. I know you probably want to go in there unmodded, but at a certain point, do you want to try and do one of the more recent mod that combines Fallout 3 and New Vegas?
Negative.
But you at least know of it, right?
I've heard of it, but I'm not going to. The part of the stream challenge is to play these things unmodded.
Okay, that's fair.
Or at least the challenge that I set for myself is, like, I don't want any external forces. Furthermore, mods kind of suck for stability.
Yeah, I'm encountering that problem myself with the Lonesome Road.
Like, I'm encountering that a lot in Fallout and Fallout 2, just with the versions of the game that GOG puts out. Like, they used to put out DOSBox and a pre-configured script for it, and it worked just fine. And now they're including a DLL mod, and it involves a package called SFall, which is okay. I mean, it makes the game compatible with, like, Windows 7, 8, 8.1, and 10. The problem is that OBS doesn't pick it up in 8-bit mode. So you have to enable a really broken DirectX 9 rendering mode, which causes all sorts of input delay and just bad times. And so I'm dealing with that. I'm dealing with it for the sake of the stream. And thankfully it's almost over.
I wonder how my copies would run, because I've still got Fallout 1 and 2 on disc.
Yep.
Got that sitting around.
You'll have to download some external patches just to get them to run.
Yeah, I think the last time I tried playing them was when I had... Here's the first laptop I had, and that started with Windows Vista. It's been that long.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it was like right at that time when they were doing the thing that if you buy a computer within this window, you'll get the free upgrade to 7 when it comes out. It was that long ago.
The free downgrade, you mean? Well, no, from Vista, it is an upgrade.
Yeah. And, yeah, I remember playing a few games through that, like, loading screens would make the game hang so bad.
Oh, I get straight crashes to desktop with like memory errors with Fallout 2. It's atrocious.
Oh man, please tell me you have like a Fallout themed like we'll be right back moment, technical difficulties kind of thing.
I don't. I'm a terrible graphic designer.
I don't even think
totally. But like I don't
even think you need to design it. Like I'm sure it's sitting in Google image searches somewhere.
Yeah, I mean
Well, yeah, let me go ahead and use someone else's copyrighted work for that.
DeviantArt does not copywritten work.
Just
saying that right now, folks.
Yeah,
yes, it is.
It really is.
Oh man.
It's not copywritten by anyone that has the capability of suing you, but
Yeah, I would say the easiest thing would be using that, like, please stand by Fallout image that's out there. I've seen it used a lot, but I'm sure. Yeah,
it's in the opening sequence for Fallout 3 when it's cycling through the slides.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's one of the
So
simplest solution would be using that.
I suppose I could do that since, it's directly related to the game that I'm streaming. And because, Black Isle and Interplay don't really exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So, I could probably do that and get away with that. But, yeah, so that's pretty much all I've been up to. How about you, Doctor?
Well, I think I actually had a heat stroke at the beginning of the week.
I disagree.
You, by all means, tell me what the hell I got then, because,
Heat exhaustion.
Okay.
Heat stroke means you're going to the hospital or you're going to die.
Gotcha. Well, there you go. I had heat exhaustion this week. Basically helping a friend of the family kind of pack up because she had to leave to move into Arizona in Riverside.
Wow.
And from
one shithole desert to another.
Yeah. For those that aren't California residents, Riverside fucking sucks. Like, it is nothing but, you know what? Watch Breaking Bad. That's Riverside in a nutshell for you.
Riverside, Temecula, everything in between.
And just, oh my god, just... Man, I had some fucking trippy-ass dreams that night. Like, you remember the scene in Dumbo, the pink elephants?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, times that by 10.
Wow.
Like, some crazy-ass shit was going on there.
Wow, Ikari just nailed it. Riverside is literally the New Jersey of California.
Yeah?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. No argument whatsoever.
It's like, backdrop, yes, though I'd be willing to say Oakland is the New Jersey in terms of people.
Oakland is the Haiti of California.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. So,
tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, dude.
Not wrong, Doug. You're just an asshole.
Oh, fuck. So, yeah, that was the beginning of my week. And from then, I kind of had a bit of a fire under my ass to start playing a lot of TF2. Which, kind of got me thinking a lot lately into a topic I'd prefer... I'll save at the end of the show, because I want to get the audience's opinion on this as well.
Sure.
Along with my fellow co-hosts. Aside from that, kind of got re into ARC, because they're also currently having an event. Which, I suppose we can kind of get into the event itself.
Sure.
And around the same time, when I get into my thoughts with Team Fortress, luckily I managed to get Deg to try ARC for a bit, and I think we could probably get into another discussion near the end. Again, we definitely want to get you, the audience, involved in this. And the way you can do that is you can add us on our Skype account at GoodGameGuys1. Send that little friend request and let me know that you're an actual person because, hey, bots still happen.
Yeah, they do.
And they suck.
Yep.
So, yeah, we'll be able to...
Good at it.
So we'll screen you in, and, yeah, just give us your thoughts on when we open up the lines for the topics that we'll bring up there. So, on to what ARC is doing right now. They're doing a Survival of the Fittest event, where basically... It's going to be a free weekend up until Sunday of 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's just for everyone out there to get a chance to try it out for themselves. But here's the neat and interesting thing that they're doing along with that. So, in-game, there's these supply drops that will occasionally fall from the sky. And one of the things that you could actually get within the event servers is either a discounted code for the copy of the game, like 50% off, or if you're really lucky, you can actually get that game for free inside that crate.
Do you have to pay $2.50 to open the crate?
What do you think this is, Team Fortress?
Yes. Yes,
Shut
I
up.
do.
You sound so excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, like, because I definitely got, like, a bunch of people on my friends list that have this on their wish list. I'm going like, dude, this is your chance. Get in here. In fact, one of the things I'm doing with another friend of mine right now, for those that are interested, we're actually trying to set ourselves up a bit of a base inside of one of the event servers to see if we can't help out any of our friends or maybe even just our audience members that are interested in the game to see if they can try their luck at getting that discount or even that copy of the game. So if you guys are interested, let me know after the show. We'll try and get you hooked up with the crew.
And don't be alarmed if Sweeney starts telling you that he needs stuff, so you better collect it or else.
That's just his Irish nature. You can't fault him for that. He's
I
drunk
really
and
can.
he's drunk and angry all the time. Come on, dude.
So am I. It doesn't mean that I'm trying to make anyone my slave here.
But are you Irish?
Well, no.
See, he's got that going for him too. He's just getting back at the rest of us because of the slavery we put on the Irish people.
So is that it? You're just being a racist now?
I think that's what he is. I can't even say God Save the Queen next to him without him, like, trying to shoot me or anything.
Lol? It's because the Queen sucks. He's Irish, not Scottish. Get over yourself.
I love poking fun at him, so he's a fun guy to hang out with. Alrighty then, so that's kind of like the bit of announcement right there for ARC, and by all means, folks, check it out. It's free. Judge it for yourself if you think it's worth playing or not.
Right. We'll come back to ARC a bit later.
Sure.
Got some shit to talk.
Yeah, we do. We're going to go ahead and start off with one of the big fucking stories right now. Because, holy shit, this is some fucked up crap. What wound up happening, remember last week we had the Pokemon tournament going on, which was causing Twitch to kind of stutter out a bit for people out there? Apparently there was two guys setting up to actually cause a shooting at the Pokemon World Tournament.
Alright.
Thankfully they got caught.
Shit.
What do you want?
Happened, dude. Nothing of value would have been lost.
Did you want your Pokemon cards back, Dag?
Fuck Pokemon and everyone that fucking looks like it.
Oh man. No, but anyway, no, seriously, like it's a good thing that they fucking like didn't get shot at or anything like that, and it's kind of fucked up that these two individuals would even decide to try and shoot up a fucking Pokemon tournament of all things too.
Right. Well, I mean, this is the United States of America.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're number one in something again, and that is mass shootings. Seriously, the U.S. has like 5% of the world's population, but 31% of the world's mass shootings. Yep. That's what we do best.
Yeah, I think the part that just hits the most for me is this is an event for kids. This is a huge event for children who are fans of the games, both the video and card games.
This isn't an event for kids. This is a huge event for children.
No, it's for both. Most of the attendees are children attending with their parents. But these two grown men from Iowa come down to Boston with a 12 gauge, an AR-15, hundreds of ammunition, and a knife stowed away in their car, boasting on social media about how they're gonna
kill the competition.
Slay the competition, gunning down to Boston and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a good thing they got caught before anything went down, because, I mean, I understand a lot of gaming events, you're mostly going to see teenagers or young adults. But yeah, this is an event where families and children show up. That's just not the kind of people you want to see in the crossfire, for sure.
Totally. And even kind of looking at the age of these two would-be gunmen, like, this dude, Kevin Norton, is 18 years old, and I think he's the Screech-looking guy. Dude, I swear to God, the shot they fucking had on the news outlet. Look at him, he looks like Screech!
Alright.
Screech is gonna fuck up the Pokemon tournament.
Dustin Diamond's gonna go back in time to when he was partially relevant.
Oh man, and 27-year-old James Stumbo?
James Stumbo, yep.
I think that'd be enough of a reason to go kill him right there if I've got a last name like Stumbo.
The curiosity for me is, how did these two people meet? Do they go to the same, like, anti-Pokemon hate rallies? Do they...
That's what I was joking about.
Is there a PokeKK out there?
No, I was just joking around. There are probably two Sony fans that showed up on a forum and got mad at man-children liking Pokemon.
They just got all butthurt and formed the PokeKK and decided, we don't serve your kind around here.
Oh god. I want to see that now in the next Pokemon game, like the PokeKK.
Stop me, it's gonna get worse before it gets better.
No, please.
Yeah, I need to stop following stuff that happens at the Pokemon World Championships, though, 'cause it seems like worse and worse shit happens every time. Like, I think it was last year, a Brazilian group of players got thrown out of their hotel and disqualified from the event for trashing their hotel, doing things not limited to throwing feces in the lobby.
Oh, those fucking Brazilians.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Weird shit going on with Pokemon.
Literally.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's fantastic.
No
So-
mas.
The cool thing about them being caught as well is that they're actually being held without bail.
Of
Cool.
course.
Yeah, we'll see what mental disorder their lawyer says they have this time.
Social anxiety. Wait. Maybe?
Asperger's. Who knows? I'm sure he's got a trick up his sleeve to get them off.
That's how it always works these days. You try to try and kill someone, you plead insanity. Like, it's kind of fucked up, but hey, welcome to what happens.
Yeah, except no, because they posted all of their intent up on social networking, and cops troll Facebook. Welcome to the internet era.
It's like, yeah, people at the event reporting those posts on social media were the reason why the police department down there was able to get to them so fast.
Sure.
Because pretty much as soon as they got into Boston, they were stopped. Their weapons were seized in their car and all that.
And I'm going to go ahead and post up the article that has their mug shots up on Facebook so everybody can see Screech and his neckbeard buddy.
That's not Screech.
It's Screech,
he doesn't
dude.
Look anything like Screech.
It's Screech, I swear to God.
He almost looks more like Jesse.
Ooh.
Eh.
Damn. It's a close friend of ours, by the way, for people that don't know.
Right.
It's been too long since I've seen him clean shaven, so I can kind of see it, but let's move on.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I'm about to lead somewhere with that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Alright, so our next story basically goes into Until Dawn, which honestly slipped under the radar for me. Because that was something I was a little on the hyped up about.
Yeah, it's kind of the big release of the week, as everyone was talking about. That and a few people getting their hands on the Flock.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. And there's so many people streaming Until Dawn. Like, what a saturated fucking game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's new and it's popular. What are you gonna do?
Well, here's the
Fair
interesting.
enough.
Here's the interesting thing when it comes to the live streaming is that it seems like there's some weird shenaniganry going on with the whole PS4 share.
I wouldn't call it shenaniganry. Sony has basically disabled the ability to archive your streams for the PS4 version.
Mm-hmm.
And that just kind of makes sense. Like, Twitch is working with them to try and enable it, but yeah, I mean, it's Sony.
Yeah, they haven't stepped out and given an official statement on it, but most of the speculation seems to be that Sony just wants to try to stave off the release of spoilers for the game.
Well, sure.
It is a... Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
This is far from the first time that we've seen some...
So, I think we are back.
Are we? Are you sure?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I see we're back on Restream, so that should be sending it to Twitch. Let me do a refresh.
Yep, okay. It looks like it's back.
Alright, cool.
Sorry about that, folks.
Do you want to tell them, or do you want me to?
No, I'll do it. So, yeah, hey, because of what caused our little issue with the disconnect, my grandma apparently fucked around with some of the wires while trying to help my mom with the window.
Oh.
Old people on technology.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, no one's using that little blinky thing over there.
It's like I didn't even want her here today either, because I knew she was going to somehow mess it up.
Well, you got what you fucking dreaded.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I wanted to see it.
No, not really. I'd have still dealt with it, even if I told her I didn't want her here.
Well,
Fucking hell. Alright.
Until Dawn.
Yeah, I believe we were on Until Dawn.
all right. So yeah, this isn't the first example I have seen of a game blocking out your ability to share it on the PS4. Like, I played EA's UFC, and during the story bits, like when you've got recorded video of different fighters, or hell, even Dana White like chattering at the camera, assuming that there's going to be a player on the other side, they completely disable all functionality of the share option, so your stream basically blacks out
Mm-hmm.
for that portion of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not unusual, and it's certainly not unheard of that this sort of thing will happen on the PS4 through their share utility. But it's likely going to happen quite a bit more as streaming becomes more and more commonplace.
You know, I'd even be willing to say that maybe there's some more justification for Until Dawn would have its, ability to stream limited, because, let's be honest, Until Dawn is going to be a very story-driven game.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's cool and all for maybe people out there that maybe just don't necessarily want to play it themselves, or for whatever reason can't afford it. But I certainly wouldn't want to, accidentally, click on a streamer and then suddenly, see a game that I do indeed have an interest in playing, especially something that could potentially be spoiled for me.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, the thing is that you can watch streams of Until Dawn just fine, is that you can't put them up as videos on demand. So the stream works just fine. You can't watch anything recorded via Twitch on
Right.
the PS4 share system.
Mm-hmm.
And that does seem like a trade-off, as opposed to just blacking out streams with story bits during the story bits and only letting you watch the gameplay itself.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why this has become necessary, because I figure, if you don't want to have a game spoiled, you're not going to be watching it on Twitch.
True.
Like, if you don't want to see what happens during the game, why the hell should streamers not be allowed to stream it or archive it in its full content? Like, why does Sony have to take that step for people? And I suppose the answer is because people are literally too stupid to know what they're doing.
Yeah, it's always a
Until
good
Dawn, what's that? Oh, I just saw the ending, god damn it.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I'm honestly kind of curious to see if they'll do the same thing for Metal Gear Solid 5.
Hard hard to say. I mean, like, it's only really applicable for the PlayStation Share button. If you're using a third-party capture card like an Elgato or a Hopage or whatever, along with XSplit or OBS, it'll archive just fine. It's only for the PS4 Share streaming, because that's all Sony really has any sort of control over.
Yeah, it's also probably their biggest outlet because of how easy it is to share that way.
Seriously, you click a button, you put in your Twitch username and password, and you go.
Yeah, because like you said, people are stupid. Like, not all of them are going to have the time or patience to set up a capture card and a recording software.
Right, and I wouldn't even say that is related to people being stupid more than it's related to people being lazy.
Yeah, fair
Gamers
enough.
are some of the laziest people, dude.
Hell, that's why Let's Plays became so popular.
Like, I'm so lazy I don't even want to play this game. Let me just watch someone else. By the way, I'll be streaming the rest of Fallout at the end of the show.
Are you lazy to play Fallout? Don't worry.
Don't worry, Deg's gotcha. Deg will put in the effort for you.
It's like, I don't know, like you said, it's not laziness so much as the game is pretty difficult.
Fallout? Nah.
Oh, you said you had the difficulty lowered when you were streaming.
Well, yeah, the combat bits can be hard, but it's also because I've forgotten what I'm doing as far as min-maxing my character.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I'm going through with a severely gimped character.
Ah, okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Shameless self... Fucking... I can't even talk anymore. I've been talking, like, all day. Like, excuse me, my tongue is fucking swollen up because it's bruised.
Oh, shit. Alrighty,
Shameless self-promotion, so says Ikari.
Alrighty, so moving right along from Until Dawn. Hopefully
Talk about
before
another
something else
horror game.
happens.
Right. Until Dawn is just bad luck for everyone involved.
Yeah, seriously. Moving right along. So, this kind of has me excited just because I've really wanted to check out this franchise, but originally there's been some speculation where Fatal Frame's 5th installment, I believe, wasn't actually going to be localized. Well, hey, looks like it's going to happen now. We're going to get a US copy of it.
Yep.
On the Wii U.
It's coming. Well, it is a Wii U title originally.
Ugh.
Like, I know the Fatal Frame franchises existed on other platforms, but this installment went straight to Wii U, and based on the mechanics, I can't really blame them because a lot of the mechanics involve using a camera to capture spirits and get clues and such, and having a gyro-enabled gamepad that you can use as a camera screen wouldn't hurt. But yeah, the interesting thing about our version of it is that it will actually be a free-to-start game. An extended demo, which includes the prologue, the first chapter, and a huge portion of the second chapter, will be available for anyone to download free on the Nintendo eShop. And if people like the game, they can download the rest of the game after paying a fee for it.
Right.
Then, yeah, the original Fatal Frame, the Made in the Black Water, it was available in Japan back in 2014, and I believe that was a full retail physical copy. So I haven't found any news on whether or not we're getting a physical copy of the game, but that's how the download's going to work.
Fair enough. And let me interrupt you real briefly. I just want to say hi to Ferret Bomb.
Hey, buddy.
Oh.
Hi, Ferret Bomb.
Haven't heard from him in a while, man.
Go right ahead.
So, yeah, I think that kind of covers it with Fatal Frame right now.
Fair enough. I never really had much interest in it.
I kind of did because, again, I'm a fan of horror genre and stuff like that, and I've heard that had a bit of a cult classic following with it. Just never could find a copy of it for the PlayStation not PlayStation, but PlayStation 2, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, that definitely was something I wanted to check out.
Right on.
So let's see. Our next story brings us to Phantom Pains, actually.
All right.
So there's some issues with the PlayStation 4 Collector's Edition actually missing some of its DLC codes.
Well, considering that people shouldn't have the game until September 1st, I'm not terribly surprised. But yeah, they're missing the Day 1 DLC codes and the Collector's Edition exclusive codes. They're missing from the packs. And yeah, it's only currently affecting PlayStation 4 editions, and the retailers are going to be receiving codes from Konami, and then they're, going to work with the people that pre-ordered it, and blur to blur, so everything should be okay by the time you should have the game, which is September 1st.
Mm-hmm. Wait, you mean to tell me that Konami actually is doing something for its fan base?
They're doing something to not get sued.
Oh, okay. That's what it takes these days, folks.
Well, yeah. I mean, frankly, after Metal Gear Solid 5, after I play this game, I can finally say, well, I've been saying it for a while, but I can finally acknowledge the fact that Konami will never again come into my life. And I would just like to say, for the record, fuck Konami.
Hashtag fuck Konami. Gotta get it right there, folks. Come on, hashtag fuck Konami.
That just reminds me of that this situation a few years back. It's definitely not the same case, but do you remember? I think it was with Deus Ex that there's a case where retailers were taking exclusive codes from the box packaging away from the copies when people came in to pick them up.
Was that Deus Ex? I remember it being a game, but I don't remember it was being Deus Ex.
I might have to look this up, but...
Fact-checking live on the Good Game Guys.
Okay.
Well, furthermore, Metal Gear Solid 5, as Sheo mentioned, is going to have microtransactions.
Yeah, it's been a big talking point recently. The forward operative base system in the game, where basically you can make your own mother base and you can connect with other people online to invade their bases and such. Yeah, it'll have microtransactions in which you can use currency to buy bigger regions of the world to find other people's bases.
And hang on, I gotta interrupt real quick because Farrapon decided to throw some ammunition over at Konami for a second, saying that screw that. It's been hashtag fuck Konami since Metal Gear Solid 2. Screw that right and shit. Excuse me? Metal Gear Solid 3? That's all I gotta say.
But still, Raiden was... You gotta admit, Metal Gear Solid 2's Raiden was a whiny,
pretty shitty, yeah.
frou-frou piece of shit, and he didn't become cool until he lost all of his essence by becoming a fucking cyborg.
Street Samurai.
He didn't become cool until they replaced all of his shitty bits with nice new shiny ones.
Yeah, that's
okay,
true.
and I did my fact checking, and it was Deus Ex Human Revolution, and it was GameStop was opening copies of the game and removing these coupon vouchers to have a streaming copy of the PC game on OnLive, which at the time was set to compete for GameStop in terms of PC service.
Right.
So again, it's another case of missing content, but then again, I don't think that was really promised, and it just reminded me.
Sure, but still, Konami, I'm glad Konami is not ever going to do another AAA title. I'm glad that it's finally going to be over.
Yeah. I wonder what they're going to do to them when they just fade out of the public eye.
Right.
I mean, more power to them if they want to be the next Zynga or King.
Well, sure. I mean, good for them for doing all sorts of casino machines, but get the fuck out of my house with that.
Mm-hmm.
yes, I will be buying Metal Gear Solid 5 begrudgingly. But thankfully, I'll never have to buy another Konami title.
Yeah. So, anyway, moving right along. Now, Dan, you sent this one to me midweek, I think, right? Apparently, some interesting little tidbit about how Rock Band 4 the disc alone is actually going to be more expensive on the Xbox One than the PlayStation 4.
Sure, that's
Yeah,
reasonable.
and
The Xbox One requires an adapter to use your old controllers.
Yeah, that's the big reason. The retail copy of the game is going to cost $60. The problem is the Xbox One version is only available with a bundle that includes a $20 adapter to use old controllers. Because unlike the architecture of the PS4, they couldn't make the old controllers work with the Xbox One.
Right, I mean the 360 had specific things like the Xbox button programmed into the controllers. So it didn't read really as a pure USB sort of connection. It was translated USB. You remember those little adapter cables that got lost everywhere?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's, that's bad news. But it's still, just getting the legacy game controller adapter for an additional $20, it still beats having to pay $100 for the game with a new guitar just so you have another plastic piece of shit hanging out in your closet.
Yeah, that's actually how it looks like. Both versions are going to be available with a bundle that includes the game and guitar for $130, and then another bundle that throws in the drum set for $250.
There should be... Oh, no, never mind. Yeah, that's right. $130 for the guitar and $250 for one guitar and drum set. I'm not sure if that bundle is going to include a microphone or more than one guitar.
I don't know if any of the bundles have a microphone. I'm not sure what their plans are with that. Though, this sort of... Yeah.
Probably to allow you to use any USB microphone.
Oh, that would be nice.
Because according to their compatibility chart, they're saying any USB microphone. All USB microphones should work because USB microphones are USB microphones.
Yeah, there's also a kind of jab here at Guitar Hero Live. It won't have a standalone version because the old hardware isn't going to work on PS4 and Xbox One at all.
Right.
You have to get the game and guitar for $100 or pay $150 for the game and two guitars. So don't even get a drum.
How much is that drum set going to be?
Who knows? Who knows if there's actually a drum set to go with this game?
Guitar Hero Live? There should be. Guitar Hero World Tour had a drum set.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It would suck if they only had the standalone drum set, because who knows how much that's going to cost.
Right. But there's Activision fucking up again.
Oh, so no real big surprise there.
Lol.
Yeah, come on. The only thing they can do right lately is crank out Call of Duty titles on time every year and do toys.
I don't know. Are they even doing that?
Say that's doing it right.
Well, it's right for their wallet.
Oh, sure.
It's like it's definitely not right for... Well, some people like Call of Duty, but most people have written it off.
Call of Duty is one of those FPSs that are kind of geared toward the lowest common denominator.
And they usually have shit tastes in other things.
For the people who actually enjoy other games and consider themselves deep gamers, Call of Duty is kind of the Adam Sandler of video games.
Oh, shit.
I can't even argue with that.
I mean, am I wrong? It's something people are tired of seeing, even though they keep doing the same shit year after year.
Right, and you're not wrong.
You're just an asshole. Oh, fuck. Alright, let's go on to our next thing, and we'll probably gloss over this real quick, because I don't think any of us really care that much. So, yeah, the Minecraft story mode has been confirmed for the Wii U. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the big curious point of that is that Minecraft hasn't released on Wii U yet, so I mean, I guess they want something to target the Minecraft audience, but shouldn't they have the game?
To be fair, it's Telltale. So
Yeah.
I'm curious. I'll at least watch a stream of the first episode.
Yeah, they've got some good voice talent lined up. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list right here. We got Patton Oswalt, Corey Feldman, Billy West.
Huh? And
Yeah.
not only do
Paul
they
Rubens.
have good voice talent, Telltale historically has brilliant writers.
Dude, they
I
made
would be surprised if Telltale's writers were fucking independent novelists.
they made you like Borderlands, dude.
They made me like Borderlands. They gave me a secondary story to The Walking Dead, which, let's face it, Telltale's The Walking Dead took Game of the Year 2012 fucking unanimously. Exactly.
Oh man! All right, so those out there that aren't in the chat room that'll probably be watching this on YouTube, Ferret Bomb. Apparently, Telltale managed to find his wallet button, as he put it, by putting in Billy West. Oh man!
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing, I think it was at Gamescom that they revealed the first official trailer for the game. Like, I mean, it's simple because it's Minecraft, but it still looks interesting enough from what they could show.
Sure.
I mean, it makes Minecraft look a hell of a lot better than Minecraft looks, that's for sure.
Shit, actually, to kind of segue back into what Deg was saying, hell, Telltale managed to introduce me to Fables, and if it weren't for a tight budget, I'd totally be collecting all those graphic novels right now, because that shit's interesting.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the way that they handle the writing, like their style is just great. Like, it evolved after a couple of hit and misses. Like, the Sam and Max series was kind of hit and miss.
Mm-hmm.
The Back to the Future series was okay. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was okay.
Mm-hmm.
But then they went into The Walking Dead, and I know a lot of people out there are really sick of zombies. But The Walking Dead was about more than just the zombies. The zombies were kind of just there as, like, a plot device.
Yeah. It's like, you know, we kind of need to start moving. Here's some zombies. Next chapter.
You know what I'm a little upset about, though? Telltale is doing Minecraft with Billy West instead of a fucking Ren and Stimpy episodic.
Ooh.
That would be funny, but sadly I think it's just been out of the public consciousness for too long. I mean, last people have seen a Ren and Stimpy was Adult Party cartoon, and I'm sure it's left a bad taste with a lot of people.
Let me redirect your attention right on Back to the Future that Telltale did. Because Back to the Future has been out of the public consciousness for quite a while.
Well, they did have the anniversary a while back, and Universal doesn't want us to forget about Back to the Future. I mean,
Oh, of course not.
it's more steeped in pop culture than Ren and Stimpy, but yeah, I'll concede that it hasn't been as relevant for a while.
I mean, I'd be even willing to go up to a random person and say 1.21 gigawatts and see if they understand what I'm saying.
All?
I guarantee you they might.
Though I will agree with you. That would be funny.
Once again, Ferret Bomb fucking nails it.
Oh, fucking A. Go ahead, take it, Dag.
I don't have to. I'm just directing your attention to chat.
No, but the people that are listening on YouTube won't know what the fuck is going on. So
Well, that's because you haven't figured out how to do the fucking chat overlay.
no, I
Fail.
haven't.
Yeah.
Ferret Bomb has said, Powdered Toast Man will never go out of the public mind, nor will Mr. Horse. That's
true.
correct.
Yeah, that's true.
That's correct. Except, you know, I'm not too sure about Mr. Horace, honestly. I'm not too sure about Mr. Horace. I'm pretty sure Log has a better public reception.
Better than bad, it's good.
No, sir, I don't like it.
Alrighty, so let's go ahead and move on over here.
Yeah, before I nostalgia on Ren and Stimpy any
before we
harder.
start going crazy. So an article that we have over here basically was talking about how the Xbox One is not going to be getting a Star Wars Battlefront console bundle, but our main focus isn't really on that, more so on the Q&A that they have along with it, giving us a little more insight on what to expect with Battlefront. So, kind of starting it off with, hang on, which one did you want to focus on first, Dan?
Could just go down the list of things that are interesting. I mean, I guess they felt they need to confirm that they will have indoor maps as top of all these sprawling outdoor things. Yeah, the previews we've seen Hoth, we've seen Tatooine, we've seen these big vistas and stuff, but people are wondering if there's going to be like any kind of underground bases or buildings and urban area kind of things.
Right.
Like, seems like a Battlefield thing kind of to do, so I wouldn't see why not.
Of course. How do you not understand that Battlefront is just a Star Wars skin on Battlefield yet? How do you not understand it?
Because I've never seen lightsabers in a Battlefield game before.
Take
No.
the Battlefield knives, change them out with lightsabers. There you go.
Yeah, they also...
Kidding me?
They're actually just going to tell me to put in a Darth Vader mod to see Darth Vader in Battlefield.
Yeah, it is nice that they have confirmed that all missions in the game will be able to be played in single-player or split-screen co-op offline. So still no online co-op, but there will be offline co-op. They also have a player progression system confirmed in which you can rank up to unlock new weapons and perks and stuff. Again,
Right.
Battlefield.
Sure.
I kind of like the system that Battlefront 2 did a little better, where you get upgrades, but only during the certain match and by completing certain requirements. Like, if you got 10 kills with the blaster, you got upgraded to the elite blaster.
Sure. I mean, that's sort of how it behaves in Battlefield as well. All the little guns and attachments and shit that you unlock have prerequisites.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a nightmare to unlock a lot of them. You know, like, play fucking 200 hours of the game with this to unlock this particular badge.
Get this many headshots.
Right. With this
Yeah.
particular weapon.
With this attachment.
Yeah. It's definitely not a Battlefield thing, but the one big change I'm not really liking that they're doing is making heroes unlockable via power-ups found during maps, rather than like the system where the hero would unlock and the top scoring player at the time would get a chance to play as them. Now this,
Sure.
you just find a thing on the ground and you get the chance to turn into Luke Skywalker, or you fly through a ring in fighter mode and you get to pilot the Millennium Falcon.
Right. But what are you gonna do with the Millennium Falcon? Wait for it to fucking go wherever the hell it wants to because they're not giving you any fucking control? You want to have a rail shooter? Because that's what you're getting. You don't get to have those big epic space battles. Not gonna happen.
Oh, no, that's going to be later DLC. You know it's going to be. This is EA we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm calling it now. The first part of their season pass is going to be an update that introduces stuff from episode 7.
I see that happening too.
That's just right in the fucking cards.
Of course. Of course. They're gonna have, like, DLC story tie-ins with the fucking movie.
Like, that's just how it's going
How
to
could they
be.
not?
I'm really going to wait for a lot of reviews before I even look at this game.
Right. But let me just divert your attention here. If you want to play a rail shooter, go play Blue Estate.
Fuck, play Star Fox, dude. That's a good rail shooter right there for you.
Blue Estate is actually kind of amusing. Like, don't play a Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah.
Just don't get it. Vote with your wallet, but I'm telling you, vote no for Star Wars Battlefront.
I'm
Yeah.
just going to wait for a sale. Like, part of me wants to see it. I have to see it for myself.
You
I have
suck,
to.
I hate you.
I have to.
I don't know. I'm sad to say that this game is going to fail, and I'm pretty sure I've said it before. Is that EA and DICE are delivering a standard Star Wars experience, But that's not what Star Wars fans want. They want an exceptional experience. They want something that surprises them. They want something big.
If you're going to put Star Wars name on it, it better be good. And
Exactly.
if it's not, then we're just going to relegate it to the trash pile and fucking completely forget that it ever happened.
Yeah.
Like the prequel trilogy.
What?
What? I don't know what you're talking about, Dan.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah. Okay, so I think this is where we're actually going to go ahead and get into those discussions that we were kind of teasing about a little earlier. So first off, let me do a reminder since we have a bunch of new people here. First off, to kind of remind you of what happened is there's an event going on with the game ARK Survival Instinct, where the game is free for the weekend, and there's an interesting event going on where you can in fact get the game 50% off or for free just by finding a random supply crate that just so happens to have that item in it.
Wait a minute. Is it ARK Survival Instinct, or is it ARK Unnatural Selection, or is it ARK Unnatural Survival Instinct Selection?
Unnatural Selection is the name of the event.
Oh, okay.
It's like their typography may suck, but that's the truth.
Yeah. So anyway, now the reason why I figured we go ahead and kind of get into this is because Deg did in fact join me yesterday in trying to build up our base for anybody out there that was interested in trying their luck to get their free copy. So
I became a slave to Sweeney.
yeah,
I recommend avoiding it just for that reason.
You want to
pushy as fuck.
You want to tell us what happened, or just your overall thoughts on the situation?
I don't want to say what happened because it was a lot of repetitive bullshit. I mean, you basically run around Minecraft style and punch trees until you have enough shit to make a pick or a hatchet, and then you don't punch trees, you hit them with whatever preferred weapon. Or, you can hit some rocks to collect stone, or you can, I don't know, hit yourself to get out of the experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's a monotonous, repetitive game. There's no motivation to continue playing aside from that which you give yourself. So I guess if you really enjoyed Minecraft, you would probably like ARK. I didn't care for Minecraft because it didn't feel like there was a point to doing any of it. It felt like a chore. It felt like a job. What's worse is I wasn't even getting paid to do it.
Now, see, here's the thing, though, that I kind of wanted to kind of bring up and question you. Now, I know you bring up the decent point of just trying to at least establish the base does kind of feel like a chore and stuff like that. But how would you feel, like, say, after we got the base established, at that point we could actually start just going hunting or just PvP or even, like, taming some of the dinosaurs within the land? Would that probably help change your opinion to find some things more enjoyable than repetitive?
Negative, because the minimum viable product is broken. I made mention to you of some wacky input delay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, move the mouse. 150 milliseconds later, your view changes. It was just bad.
You got Sweeney's attention in the chat room, by the way.
Did I?
Yeah, you do.
Oh, that's okay. Now I'm poking fun at Sweeney. He knows it. He ain't mad. And if he is mad, fuck him.
He's Irish. He's always mad.
Oh, right. Well, fuck him.
No, but, I mean, here's kind of the thing that always kind of weirded me out, especially with, like, the discussion of saying, like, you don't really feel that there's much enjoyment in it because there's no formal progression. God damn it all.
Tonight is not your night.
No, it's not. It really is not my night right now.
Yeah, no, I don't have an actual problem with Sweeney. It's just more a matter of the game itself. It just feels like there's gonna be no end to all of the bullshit time wasting you have to do to acquire things in order to attempt to enjoy the game. The minimum viable product, which is to say move, jump, shoot, look, etc., like all of the basic actions are delayed significantly on, well, higher quality settings.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like the game was lagging. It's not like the frame rate was taking a hit. There was just something wrong with it. Secondarily, the purpose or the point of the game just, it doesn't feel like it exists for me. There's no motivation to continue. There's no reason.
Yep, I'd love to put something in here, but these are just the exact same sentiments that I have about Minecraft.
I'm just trying to regain my thoughts after that little distraction.
It's very Minecraft. It is pretty much a carbon copy of all of the reasons why I don't play Minecraft, why I never got into it.
Sure, but part of the thing that always kind of gets to me is like just what's wrong with necessarily just establishing your own goals into the situation to like further intrigue you, if you will.
Well, that's the problem. Once you run out of goals to set for yourself, what more is there to do?
Well,
what
all right,
brings you back to the game?
Okay, well, hang on. See, I managed to think of something pretty quickly when Deg was bringing this up, like off air.
Let me answer the question you just asked.
Sure.
How the fuck are you expected to place your own goals when you can only see silhouettes of the stuff that you build without any sort of description or information as to what it is and how to get there? So excuse me, let me alt-tab out of this game, go look at the Wikipedia and see what that icon is supposed to represent?
Uh-huh.
No thanks.
Yep.
Any game that forces you to close it down so you can go and check out the wiki isn't a fucking engaging game.
Well, hear me out, because I think you're missing the point of trying to set up your own goal. Like the main goal that here's like the chain of events of how I usually set things up with something like this: search around for a suitable area, establish a base, make sure defenses are set up in the base, explore.
Yep.
Let me build a base without any information as to what I can put in the base.
Yeah, I've said that since Minecraft. I think sandbox crafting system games really do need to work on a new player experience via a tutorial. Like, you shouldn't have
not
to
even
go.
A tutorial. The crafting system just needs to be more well defined.
Yeah, that's why that you shouldn't have to go to an outside source to find out how to do things. Like, people can cry and scream all you want, but you're on the internet, you can go look it up. You shouldn't have to look it up. Everything you should have to know to play the game should be within the game itself.
Sure, but I mean,
close the game and go look at a wiki to figure out how to do something in the game. Why the fuck would I keep playing the game?
But hang on though. In this instance with Ark, it's not necessarily
literally prevents me from continuing the game when I am fucking looking shit up.
Hang on though. In the instance of Ark, it's not so much like how Minecraft does it, where you have to go to an outside source to know how to build these blueprints and stuff like that. The blueprints are there. You just need to start leveling up so you can have access to those blueprints. I mean, let's be fair right now. Does it really make sense that a level 1 person should totally have access to building their own gun from scratch?
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that they should tell you what kind of guns you're going to be able to build at that level and how many points it's going to take to unlock the skills so you can fucking plan effectively instead of just waffling around building fucking useless walls.
Yes, so what you're saying is it'll have a bunch of blueprints that you can't use, but it won't tell you, like, available at level X.
It tells you... It doesn't tell you anything about the blueprints. It gives you a black silhouette of what the item's image will be.
And it tells you what level you have to be to unlock them.
And aside from that, it's full of question marks. What is this item? What does it do for you? How many points is it going to take to unlock it? What previous skills are you going to need to invest your points in order to unlock this one when you hit this level?
Sure, but I mean,
there's no capability of planning.
But at the same time, I
think
think
up with is a world full of fucking pissed off people that built a base one way and then realized that in order to fucking build it in a completely similar fashion to what they were thinking of doing, they're going to have to change up the entire fucking base. They're going to have to spend hours deconstructing their base to put up new shit.
Okay, I can understand. That sounds kind of annoying, because at least with Minecraft, you can know what you need to build stuff. It's just that necessarily you might have to progress, like, deep down into a cave to find the resources to build it. Like, there's certain things you're going to build once you first start, and things that you'll be able to build easier later, but they're not locked behind levels or point systems. They're just locked behind progression and location.
Right. And mind you, all of this sort of stuff will be a lot easier to do when you've got a whole team full of people working towards the same goals. Problem is where is that team when you're starting and when you really need the information? Where are you getting any information about what you want to build your character toward without closing the game down and going and looking at its wiki?
Well, let me ask you then, would you really consider trying to play this game on your own?
No.
So wouldn't it seem reasonable to at least immediately start... Let's just say, for instance, that you did actually have interest in a future type game that has the same type of gameplay mechanic to it. You would still at least ask myself, Dan, or maybe even people in the audience to join in, so that way you at least have your own, like, you know, tribe, clan, whatever you want to call it, to start getting some shit established within the area, right?
Here's how I work. If I don't want to play a game by myself, I don't want to play that game with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't want to play a game by myself, I don't want to play the game. Period. That's just how I work. If there's nothing to keep me interested, like in the middle of the night when none of my friends are online or whatever the case may be, I'm just giving an example.
Sure.
If there's nothing to keep me playing it solo, then a whole big group of people isn't going to keep me playing it. And if it does, it's going to make me start resenting that whole big group of people. Because it's going to feel like a chore. It's going to feel like a job. It's going to feel like a thankless escapade in a fucking tech support department.
So let me ask something then. Do you feel the same way about MMOs?
For the most part, yes.
Okay. All right. No. All right. That's fine.
There are very few MMOs that I would like to play on my own. Like, I was enjoying Final Fantasy XIV, but then everything started feeling like a grind fest.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm over it. I played World of Warcraft for like 7 or 8 years before I developed this particular sense of, what the hell am I doing with my life? And that's the sort of point in time. Like, after WoW died for me, it pretty much killed the idea of a number of different MMOs. I mean, yeah, shit, Akari actually bought me a couple of months of Final Fantasy XIV, and I still can't really sit down and play it for extended durations of time because I'm through story content, and there's nothing else to keep me interested. There's a whole lot of, oh yeah, you know, our guild or our free company or our clan or our tribe or our whatever the shit name you want to give to it, it becomes a goddamn chore. It's like, alright, I need to go and gather this for these guys, I need to gather that for those guys, I need to gather all of this crap for me, blardy. Honestly, I'd rather spend my time masturbating to the newspaper.
Okay. Well, I definitely kind of differ, because to me, I do get a sense of enjoyment out of the game. I guess partially because there is a sense of accomplishment within it. Like, just the whole fact of even establishing your own commute. Like, you managed to build up your own base. In fact, let's take a look at Walking Dead for a second, since we were kind of talking about that, and kind of focus more on the show itself. Like, okay. Take a look at the governor, for instance. Like, just the fact that he managed to establish that, you know, commute, Woodbury, I believe it was called?
The community?
Yeah.
The
commute community. But Woodbury was the town name, right?
Yeah.
Just the fact that he managed to establish something like that, and the fucking chaos of the universe itself. I mean, that's a sense of accomplishment that I like to look forward to, especially when walking into a game like this. Like, dude, we got fucking dinosaurs all over the place, man. You want to know how many times, like, a couple of bases we tried building, there's just nothing but T-Rexes that keep spawning around the area?
Yeah, that's fine. It's just, you know,
yeah,
that game and games like it are just not my cup of tea.
That's fair.
And I want to wrap this up by throwing in a counterpoint to that. I mean, the governor, he had a huge reward to gain from building up that community, and that's power. He has political influence in that community. He basically controls their lives. He can get anything. Yeah, he has an army. He can do whatever he wants. In video games like this, you can set your own goals, but the rewards are only as much as the game is going to give to you, and like me in Minecraft, if those rewards aren't very fulfilling and don't give you a sense of accomplishment, you're not going to be playing for long.
Well, I would even kind of...
If you're one of the types that does get a sense of accomplishment, cool. You might enjoy that type of game.
Mm-hmm. But here's kind of
it just seems very minor.
But here's kind of the thing I'm saying as well that kind of goes into it with, with the governor analogy, is like even after you establish your commute, with your group of friends, you can probably establish dominance within the entire server. I mean, you bring in the whole PvP element to it.
Well, sure, but again, I ask, what's the point?
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I'm assuming Dag is one of those people too, but I'm just one of those people that likes to be rewarded in game with more gameplay. I want something new to do in the game to reward me for my efforts. I don't want... It's like, I don't want, you have a giant base, you can go do this endgame thing that gives you nothing to further your accomplishments.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I really like to have a compelling reason to continue.
Anyway,
Yeah.
So with that said, folks, we want to open this up to you. What do you guys think about, just the conversation that we had all together, or even just games that kind of fall along the same premise of like a survival, build your own
Sandbox.
sandbox environment, building your own commute, because I'm just getting a car at this point now.
Community, dickbag, stop it. You're wrong.
I'm having fun at Ikari's expense. Shut up. Anyway.
It's at everyone's expense. Well, no, it's more at your expense.
Anyway.
Because in this instance, you're the idiot.
Anyway. You folks can go ahead and leave us messages in the chat room, or you can also call us and be on air live by calling us at our Skype account at GoodGameGuys1. So remember to throw us a call if you have an opinion onto the subject. And while we wait for you guys to give us a ring, we also got another little topic to kind of throw in there.
Hopefully we won't talk this one to death as much.
This one will probably be quick. So another thing that I was initially doing, like I was saying earlier, I was playing a bunch of TF2, and I kind of found myself in a situation where I was kind of getting a little sad at the fact that I had to rely on the matchmaking system in order to find matches. Now that might sound weird to people, but travel back with me at a point with, Counter-Strike 1.5, 1.6, whatever the fuck you preferred, where you actually had to go through a whole entire server list and pick and choose some of your favorite ones that you usually attend to, to hang out with a group of friends or even just to fuck with some clanmates or anything like that. And it kind of seems like a lot of games these days have been taking that fun out lately. Like, it almost feels like I have to rely on just being put into a random match with a bunch... Fuck, I'm trying to articulate here, but there's a bit of an issue with matchmaking that kind of just takes a little bit of the fun away, is what I'm kind of feeling. Like, do you guys kind of feel that same way?
Well, how so?
I guess
how is matchmaking taking the fun out of it for you? Remember, I haven't played TF2 since it became Hat Fortress.
Sure. I think part of what takes some of the fun away from matchmaking, I guess one has to do with the fact that we're on the official servers, which usually tend to have their own restrictions whatsoever. I'm not saying, I'd like using mods or anything like that. No, far from it.
I do.
Yeah, I know you do. But, there just seems to be, an element of fun that gets taken away. I guess, I do enjoy, to roll the dice every now and then and get some of the stupid little events that happen within it. Or even just, play a lot of the custom maps that you'll find on, FPS Banana or something like that.
Okay, so, third-party servers versus...
Official, I suppose, yeah.
Can't you uncheck the option to do official servers only? Pretty sure I saw that in the matchmaking menu before.
I don't think so, but
I know by default it searches for official Valve servers only.
Mm-hmm.
And I can attest to this. The people you get on official Valve servers are, to put it nicely, part of the general populace. So you're going to get some pretty weird games in there. It's like you're either going to steamroll or you're going to get no help.
That's kind of what winds up happening with a lot of these matchmaking situations, is you keep running into a bunch of, for lack of a better word, pubs. Or just, lowest of the low common denominator people out there that just suck.
Okay.
Which, you know, if you're the one guy that is trying to fight against them, cool, that's fun because you're picking on noobs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'll admit I have my hobbies.
Oh no, that's okay. That's pretty much the only fun I had in Ark.
Yeah, you did.
Random people spawn in, murder them before they say anything. Fuck it. This is my land. Get the fuck out.
So you enjoyed establishing your dominance?
Yeah, a little bit. Against people that literally just spawned in. It's like, nope, spawn elsewhere. This is my town.
But then you start getting into the point where that matchmaking system does often throw a lot of those new people on your team as well. And that's an extra load that you got to carry to make up for it.
Right. Right. But I figure at this point, if you're still playing Team Fortress 2, how often really do you run into new players?
You'd be surprised.
Would I?
Yes.
How many new players does Team Fortress draw in? I mean, aside from the people that, you know, drop badges that have items and shit and then just randomly log in.
I don't know how many new players they get in, like, in a significant imperative or
right,
empirical
that's sort of
amount.
What I'm asking, though, is like, what's the stream of new players versus the stream of players leaving?
Yeah.
Like, is there enough new blood to really have a problem?
Well, there's enough old blood to keep the trade community going either way, but
Obviously.
I know most of the new players, you're running into kids. You're running into proto-COD babies, to be honest. I've done this recently because the new feature in the game in which you can complete certain objective-based missions to unlock cosmetic items, you can only play on Valve's official servers, and those servers attract a lot of young kids. It's like, this is the exact reason I don't play Call of Duty. God damn it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really play a whole lot of Team Fortress, so I'm not sure what sort of scrubby matchmaking you're getting. I do, however, play World of Warships. If you want to complain about matchmaking...
No, actually, go ahead, because it does kind of fall into the same... Like, I'm just talking about matchmaking in general. Like, I'm not purely focusing this on Team Fortress. If anything, I'm kind of griping at the fact that I missed the days where I could actually pick and choose the servers I could go to.
Well, you still can. You could still go into the server list and pick out a server you want. It's just your problem is that the servers you used to go to, people have stopped paying for.
Sure.
Oh, well, that's...
Well, hang on. See,
nothing to do with matchmaking, though.
Not necessarily, because this is the alternative that we have to, or
it's like
rather,
if you don't have other servers to go to, you're going to go into matchmaking because you're bored. Personally, though,
you just scroll through a server list and connect to any at random.
In TF2, sure, but say World of Warships, no.
Well, right.
Yeah, personally, the way I do it, I just look for a server based on what map I want to play on, and if it's cool, I'll remember it. Otherwise, I had my fun playing on that map. I'll go find another server playing another map I want to play.
Right.
It's like, maybe I'm not as emotionally attached to servers as the captain is. It's like, I found a few that I used to like, but the same thing happens. People just stop caring.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
But, I mean, you were about to go ahead and get into matchmaking yourself with World of Warships. Go for it.
Well, I was more curious as to your point with matchmaking since you had brought up TF2, but if it's matchmaking in general, then every different game has a different way of doing matchmaking. There are some games that do matchmaking in a, how can we say, an acceptable format, and then there's wargaming.
Mm-hmm.
And wargaming particularly, they like to separate their ships or their tanks or their aircraft. They like to separate them by tier. But they like putting you in matches where you've got a tier delta, if you will. You can be up-tiered or down-tiered for your particular match. For instance, a real-world example, I was playing in the North Carolina a while ago. The North Carolina is a Tier 8 battleship in World of Warships. This Tier 8 battleship is slow as balls, it turns very slowly, it's fucking huge, and it doesn't quite have the range of the Iowa or the Montana class battleships, Tier 9 and Tier 10. I was playing in a match where the enemy team had like 3 Montanas, 2 Yamatos, like a whole bunch of Tier 10 ships, and here I am sitting at Tier 8. The only Tier 8 on my team.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
And that sort of stuff just happens in wargaming.
Okay.
Mind you, North Carolina uses the same guns as the Iowa, so it's still got 16-inch guns. It can still punch the shit out of Tier 10 battleships. They just have more health. They have more weapons. They have more. It's not impossible, but it will introduce I guess it'll introduce gamer bias. It'll basically say, oh man, wargaming fucking hates me, or I'm not enjoying this game because I keep getting up-tiered, or whatever. And it doesn't matter so much in the battleships or whatever as it does in the carriers, but it still matters. Like, they really need to fix their matchmaking, and I don't think that's going to happen until the game is well out of beta and they have more than 100,000 concurrent users, so they've got people in every tier, so you can just have a tier versus tier sort of a match.
Mm-hmm.
But until that happens, the matchmaking that wargaming has in place kind of sucks. They just don't do it right. There's too much of a spread in between the ships. There are too many instances where you're just gonna end up outclassed. You're going to be expected to outperform because you can't outgear.
Hmm.
And that sort of expectation, especially on the newer players, I mean, keep in mind, when you're starting Tier 1, you're typically going to be running against Tier 1 and Tier 2, and that's not too big of a deal because the differences between the ships are minor.
But then immediately after that, then you start getting into some upscale battles.
When you get into Tier 2, suddenly you're going to be facing Tier 3 and 4.
Yep.
When you get into Tier 6, you're going to be all the way between Tier 3 and Tier 9. Like, they spread it out later in the game because there are fewer people that have bothered with the game that long. But it's they just make it unnaturally difficult. You know, you're expected to outskill things at Tier 6. And keep in mind, the people that are in Tier 8 have typically bought their way into Tier 8. They went Wallet Warrior and got themselves the Atago or whatever. So when you're fighting against a bunch of people in Atagos, you will pretty much rape face if you have actually gone through and played your way through to Tier 8. The issue herein is after that, it's pretty much a bunch of people using ships that they didn't pay for, that they had to go and earn. So in Tier 6, you'd be expected to outperform Tier 9 players that have A, more experience, B, more playtime, and C, probably higher stats.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you really got to start pushing your game up if you want to get anywhere in the game. As far as the matchmaking, though, it's broken. It's encouraging competition between people who can't compete at that level and people who can and do. There's got to be some sort of a fix, and if they're going to do it by a tier system, they should just match tiers.
Right. So do you think that could... hang on. I'm trying to bring this back a little bit now.
You want to bring it back to Team Fortress, huh?
No, I'm even getting just like...
I don't know. It's like I don't know how to reel it back in, but I've definitely got my own matchmaking nightmare situation.
All right, sure, go for it.
So I've been playing Splatoon like this a lot. I mean, the last few weeks, not so much this week, but it's like matchmaking used to work pretty well for that, in that there's a level progression system that you earn experience to increase level as you play more matches, and it's basically just a measure of how long you've been playing the game. And matchmaking is supposed to make it so that people within a certain range of levels from you will be matched with you. There's also a ranked system in which players are ranked from C- to up to now S+ based on how well they play at the game. And again, when you play competitive queues, you get ranked with people that are either like a step above or below you. And
Is
then
it just one step?
Usually, like especially solo, but then they introduced their 2.0 update, which introduced squads in which you could have either 2-man or 4-man groups of your friends to queue together and do stuff. And it seemed to they seem to also break regular matchmaking for some reason. Cause I'm like level nearly 30 because I've been slacking off a bit, but I've been seeing a lot of people like. Every now and then I'll still see a single-digit level character, but oh god, when it comes to doing ranked battles in a squad, it's the worst. Like, there must be just that few squads, but no matter what your average rank is among your 4 players, there's an easy chance you'll run into S-tier players at any level. Like, at any point you can run into a team of S-tier players, and my god, is it a pain? And it's kind of annoying because I'm kind of begrudging them adding S tier, not only because I think it's stupid to add that on top of A rank, but also when doing squads, S tier players are immune from rank decay, meaning they can lose all they want, they're not going to lose their S rank. So the benefit of this is that a bunch of S-ranked players could go boost their B or A tier friend up by playing squads, and that seems to happen a lot, given by the fact that 9 times out of 10 on playing squads, there's at least 2 S-ranked people on the other team.
Sure. I actually, I tend to see, at least with Wargaming's matchmaking, if you're in a division or a squad or whatever, it bases your battle tier to the highest tier player. Have you noticed anything like that occurring in Splatoon? Like, have you noticed this because you're in a squad with S-ranked players, or are you an S-ranked player?
I wouldn't say so, because like a lot of my friends were in the A- range, and I'm currently sitting at B. I had a friend that got up to S rank, but we started doing squads before that, and we were still running into S tier players.
Was he A at the point? I mean,
yeah.
S is 1 rank away from A, right?
Well, it does a grading system. There's minus, regular, and plus for everything. So yeah, we had like an A minus, another A, and a B. And we were running into S and S+ players being half of the squads.
I see. Well, that's just shitty and broken.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's because of the broken system involved, compiled with the fact that I'm sure there's not a lot of people running squads. I mean, the game sold like 1.2 million copies. It's like, how many of those players are going to group up with 4 of their friends to play competitively?
Sounds like a large pool to choose from. I'm sure a lot of those I'm not giving any percentage, but I'm sure a lot of those 1.2 million purchasers bought it because they have friends that are going to play with them.
Yeah, fair enough. Like I'm saying, I'm sure there's just too big of a discrepancy between the average or even highest tier in a squad. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's more squads that are mostly S tier people boosting their friends than there are friends who are like letter grade above or below each other wanting to play competitively for fun. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's still fun. The games are short enough that it's not a nightmare to deal with S-ranked players.
So, anyway, just overall, I think we've pretty much just like established our thoughts when it comes down to matchmaking and, any type of game out there. And, again, folks, we want to hear from you. Although I think you guys might be a little busy talking about RTSs on consoles right now, it seems.
Yeah, we ignored chat for a good amount of time there.
It's okay. We're really talking about what we were talking about.
Well, that's fine. That's fine.
We can ignore you too.
Oh, honestly, I don't have anything to say that hasn't already been said.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And to be honest, like I said, we want to hear from you guys.
Right.
So while we wait for anybody that does feel like calling in, hopefully.
Wait, we're
Hopefully.
already overtime.
Yeah, we are.
We've been waiting for half an hour.
That's why I'm going to go ahead and get into the last couple bits of the stories that we have. And I don't know, if anybody calls in between, we'll let them on.
Okay.
So, so we have two stories in relation to like websites that like to do the bundle deals or just like charity. I'm talking first one going to be Humble Bundle,
Right.
where they're actually going to let you choose over 35,000 charities that you can actually donate to. Like a couple
Right.
I've noticed offhand were like the Boys and Girls Club, the Humanitarian Society, all that.
Sure, but it's not just that it's a big list, but there are tons of smaller and possibly more local charities that are going to be coming up that would otherwise get very, very little exposure.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, now at Humble, you can actually go and select your preferred charity if you want to, go with the Wounded Warrior Project or, whatever else might be small and local to you. You can do so, and that's always neat. It's always neat to see indie charity drives actually make a difference. For a while, Humble has just been sticking with one
I think
or
it's
two
just
or three
Child's Play.
particular charities, or just with Child's Play or whatever. And now you can actually, have the money that you send over to Humble go to where you want it to go, as opposed to where they want it to go.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice thing to opt into, especially on top of their system that they have, that you can decide what portion of your payment goes to whom, which,
Right.
again, it's more control over where your money goes than ever before.
Sure. And that's kind of unique as far as e-tailers are concerned, which is really cool. I mean, you've been able to choose if your money is going to go to Humble Bundle or Humble Store or whatever, if it's going to go to the Humble staff, or if it's going to go to charity, or if it's going to go to the developers, or a split between the three. But now they're giving you an option as far as the charities themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Now, keep in mind, you want to do your diligence with charities. There are a number of charities out there that claim to be non-profit, but not a CEO, but
Double check them.
The head of a charity.
Mm-hmm.
They can literally give themselves and every member of their staff up to like a $500,000 a year salary before they have to donate any of it to anywhere. So, you wouldn't be surprised to find out that, I forget if it's Red Cross or Salvation Army, one of these two, 17 cents on the dollar actually goes to the charitable cause.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, I heard something bad like that with Red Cross, that's for sure.
So, I mean, pay attention to, like, if you want to choose a charity, do your own due diligence. Like, make sure that you're not just, spitting a whole crap ton of money into somebody's BMW.
Yeah, do your homework.
So, moving on to the next site that does its own little bundle sharing system.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
So, let me hope I'm
Had to talk about this.
let me say hope I'm saying their website name right. Indie Gala.
Yep.
So Indie Gala is doing a bundle for the next week and a half, I want to say.
12 days, 6 hours, 48 minutes, and 14 seconds, and counting. They have a counter on it.
And it is labeled the Sexy Girl Bundle, which has about 5 hentai games on it.
Yep.
Which one of them is currently owned by the NPC.
The NPC already owns one of these games.
It's,
So I had to press him a little bit last night to actually play through it. So tell us the title of this game and the basic premise, please.
oh boy, this is my unofficial first impressions on Boob Wars: Big Breasts versus Flat Chests. Oh my god.
If the laughter hasn't begun yet, wait for it.
The game takes place in an alternate future in which a divergent biology has occurred, in which women either grow giant double D sized breasts, or they have tiny A cups. There is no more middle ground, and for a short while, this led to prosperity and peace due to women's clothing actually being a lot better served. But then these biological differences created a sort of race war, if you will, between the big breast tribe and the flat chest tribe. And you're
Sorry, keep going.
and you play a member of a third party, an arrowist, if you will, whose job is to infiltrate both sides, seduce their queens, and bring an end to the war.
Oh god.
So, in short, you must bring world peace between flat chests and big anime titties by fucking. Oh my god.
How much does your soul hurt right now?
I got a good hour into it, and most of the time I was just thinking to myself, someone was paid to write this, and someone was paid to animate the accompanying visuals.
Someone was paid to program it, someone was paid for the publishing rights. How fucking wonky are the Japanese people?
Yeah, I'll admit, it's a hilarious concept, though I don't think the execution is quite the best. I mean,
obviously not.
Like,
we actually had an interesting Segway conversation about this last night.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember what that was about?
Well, I know the ultimate conclusion would be how amazing it would be if Disney got into animated porn.
Oh
Right.
my god.
Right.
But that was our
My stocks are
conclusion.
flipping out.
We need a big star to bring some money into this industry, and I mean some big money.
Right. And we could totally look like if Disney had an After Dark thing, our country's opinion, our perspective about animation might change. Because so far, I can't do anything about the dogs, I'm sorry people. The general consensus about cartoons just being kid things or weird wonky Japanese things might change. Like, y'all gotta remember,
Yeah.
porn is sort of responsible for a lot of different things out there. For instance, the reason why VHS became a standard over Betamax was porn that decided that.
Oh man. America, we need to start developing more porn.
Disney, get on it.
Yeah, it's not enough that a year from now we beat the Japanese in building giant robots. We need to beat them in animated porn too.
Well, to be fair, they have done it already. They've been doing it for a while. They've been doing it with a lot of really taboo topics that I don't really want to talk about because,
Yeah.
But at the same time, they don't have any real competition.
Yeah. I think it's just the sentiment of animation across other cultures. Then again, I should say mostly just America, because Europe doesn't give a shit. They'll put whatever they want on.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Oh man, so why don't we go ahead and get into how the cost for this bundle right here. You can't actually put in your own custom amount, but the minimum you can do for all 5 of these games, folks, $10.
$9.99. So if you're looking for some weird weeb fat fodder, go right ahead.
I don't know.
Akari.
Dan, would you recommend it?
As of right now, I think the mechanics and the cast of characters seems a bit shallow. Like, I'll say this right now: if Fire Emblem Awakening doesn't give you enough fan service, and Sengoku Rants you can't seem to find anywhere, I guess it's worth getting this game. Otherwise, play one of those two. I can't recommend this right as it stands right now.
Oh man!
Just laugh at the entire topic.
Pretty much. I mean, you hear
that's what I was going for.
You hear Dag and I chuckling about it, but I know someone out there fucking wants this shit.
Dude, I know at least 3 people in our fucking chat room that have already purchased this.
Oh my!
We're not naming names here.
I'm looking at you, Ikari, Ferret Bomb, and Sweeney.
Either way, I would still be totally down for a gift copy of Millis, Knight of Anal Tyranny.
Oh my god.
It's like, that sounds like the winner out of that bundle.
There it went. There it went.
All right.
Expressed latent desire.
Oh man, alright, so with that said, let's get the fuck out of here.
Right, time to run away.
Oh man. So, thanks for tuning in, folks. A bit unfortunate that we didn't get to hear any of your opinions on some of the topics that we managed to discuss, which sucks, but oh well. There's always next show.
Indeed there is.
And you can actually keep up to date when we do our show by hitting that follow button right there in our Twitch account, or Hitbox if you happen to be listening there.
Right.
Or, amazingly enough, we have a Facebook page where we do actually post when we decide to start doing some of the streams. Even a Steam group that does the same thing. You should totally join those.
Totally. There's buttons. I figure if you haven't clicked on them yet, you're probably not gonna.
Yeah,
and that's cool too.
But then again, there are a couple of new guys here, which is awesome. Hey, new guys, we appreciate you being here.
Right.
I know PAX Prime is going on. That's probably more interesting, but you know what? You guys are awesome.
And fuck that. We had fun.
With porn.
It's like that. So I say the first rule about having a video game podcast: just be yourself and have fun with it.
Right. So anyway, for anybody out there that may just be tuning in a bit late, I don't really know about this particular episode, but you can catch some of our past installment episodes on our YouTube channel, as well as other videos that we do put up, by looking up the Good Game Guys Show. Again, there's a button down there on the Twitch page. Totally click it, hit the follow button, hit subscribe. Some magic shit might happen, who knows?
Right. Or,
You'll be caught in a war between flat-chested women and big-breasted women.
Oh god. Okay.
Still
Bye.
waiting for the tits versus ass sequel.
Oh man. So with that said, this is Dr.Captain.
I'm Dag.
And I'm the NPC.
And this is everyone here at the Good Game Guys saying, good game, everyone!
Embarrassed to be on this show.
You okay there? You gonna be alright?
Everything's fine.
Oh, man. Alrighty, that's it. Good game, everyone.
GG.
Good game.